Have you ever wondered how a massive creative world gets built from the ground up? Well, today we get to be a fly on the wall. We're going to follow creator Nicholas Alexander Benson for an entire day to see exactly how his ideas go from just a dream to a finished reality. So, how does an idea actually become, well, a thing? We're going to trace one from the very beginning, I'm talking a flicker in a dream, all the way to a finished published piece of art. You'll get to see every single step of this pretty fascinating process. So get this, for Nicholas, the creative day starts before he's even properly awake. He consciously enters a lucid dream, which is part of a persistent reality he calls the storyverse. This isn't just passive dreaming, it's actually the first active step in his creation process. And here's what's so cool. He doesn't just dream of a brand new battle. Instead, he picks up right where the last one left off. He and his team are on a paradise world, and they're dealing with the dried, sandy remains of a villain they defeated the day before, a malevolent variant of himself named Acid Jet. You know, what's fascinating is just how methodical this dream is. There's a clear protocol here. They don't just destroy the villain. No, they collect the remains, contain them in this special terrarium of pure creative energy, and then seal it with a divine spell. Talk about thorough. And this really shows that the goal isn't just victory. It's about control and understanding. The threat is neutralized, yeah, but it's also preserved, locked away so it can be analyzed without causing any more harm. It's really all about responsible resolution. The moment he wakes up, that dream becomes raw material. It's not just some fading memory, it's the first draft, and the work of turning it into actual art begins right away. So the first stop is his podcast, Dreamcast. This is where he analyzes the whole experience. He sees the dream not as some random chaos, but as a direct narrative about responsibility. You know, the idea that true victory isn't just defeating an enemy, but making sure they can't harm anyone ever again. And then he translates that whole narrative into music. These lyrics here are a direct, poetic retelling of the dream, turning that whole containment protocol into a pretty catchy hook. Now, none of this creative output is random, not at all. It's all guided by a strict personal canon, a set of rules for creation that makes his entire universe feel really cohesive. A really foundational rule in his canon is that armor is identity. So his heroes don't have secret alter egos. The armor is who they are, permanently. I mean, that single rule dramatically changes what it even means to be a superhero in his world. And his rules create such compelling conflict. See, heroes have to fight fair. Their powers are limited by simple physical exhaustion. But the villains get to break the rules. They can have these overpowered, totally unfair abilities specifically to create narrative tension and give the heroes truly impossible odds to overcome. You can see these design principles so clearly in his character art. The armor is sleek and always helmeted, creating this kind of mythic icon. And notice the glowing accents. They aren't just for show, they actually hint at the character's powers, making the design itself part of the storytelling. So, all this inspiration from the morning, containment, responsibility, impossible odds, is now channeled into the day's main event, forging a brand new comic book. And here is the result of all that focus. A new comic, fully written and designed in a single day, called Cosmic Coincidences. The plot drops us right into some high-stakes sci-fi. A parasitic sludge is infecting Earth, and an agent is sent to Egypt to help clean it all up. But her mission hits a wall, literally, in the form of a powerful guardian who's convinced the alien goo is a divine blessing. The conflict is immediate and super intense. The guardian isn't just misguided, he's a fanatic. He sees the cleanup crew as blasphemers, and he is ready to use his immense power to stop them. So our hero is forced into a fight she does not want. She has to rely on her unique abilities, these wolf-like reflexes and laser claws, just to survive against a guardian who can control the very sands of Egypt. But then, the entire conflict just pivots. In a moment of desperation, the agent lets out a supersonic howl. The guardian sees her dark form, hears that sound, and has a sudden revelation. He believes she's an avatar of the god Anubis. So the conflict isn't resolved by force, but by a complete misunderstanding, the cosmic coincidence of the title. It's a fascinating echo of the morning's dream. Victory comes not from destruction, but from clever de-escalation. The agent just plays along, convinces the Guardian to help, and saves the day.
So, after all that, what does the creator himself see as the highlights of the day? Let's take a look at the day from his perspective.
In his own words, these were the highlights. And it's such a fantastic mix of the imaginary and the real. He's proud of containing a villain in his dream, but he is just as proud of walking miles for charity and getting his finished comic out there into the world. So what fuels all this discipline? Well, it turns out his creative output is powered by a pretty unique routine, eating just one meal and drinking one milkshake a day. It's all part of his focused lifestyle.
And the day doesn't end with a full stop, but by looking ahead. This is his actual plan for the upcoming week, filled with everything from milkshake dates and family visits to creative projects and reading new manga. The process really never stops.
And that leaves us with a final thought. From a lucid dream about containing an old enemy to a comic about a hero mistaken for a god, today's creations were all born from these really unexpected connections. It makes you wonder, what random cosmic coincidence is out there waiting to spark tomorrow's story?